I want to start off by saying rest in peace to George Floyd, Breonna Taylor as well, Ahmaud Arbery, and everybody that's been affected with the times that we're going through right now. I also want to say that black people have gone through enough. I'm a Hispanic man that's had the privilege of having parents that have open hearts and raised me to be colorblind. I never see color in another person's skin. It's important for me to say this to all my friends, my brothers and sisters. I love you. Jesse, Rose, Blair, Harper, Kennedy, Carter, Booker, Blevins, Amber, Zoma, Kenny, Alex, Jeff, Prince, Damian, Chris, Mark, Devon, Stanley, Evadanio, Stacy, Tanea, Aubrey, Julian, Tim the Third, Latroy, Kyle, Thomas, Mello, Will, Lamar, Essence, Tevin, etc., 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 etc. This isn't a message for me to boast on how many black friends I have. This is a message for me to say their names right now while they're still alive, because at the rate we're going, we'll never know if we'll ever see each other again. I wanted to say their names so they know that we see them, we hear them, we feel them, I feel them. These are good people that I've had in my life for many years. I love you all. What's important to remember that this isn't a trending topic at the moment. I have a question. Why isn't the truth taught in school? We learn about slavery and how the country did the right thing to free slaves and how the civil rights movement gave blacks the opportunity to vote. Another question is, how will this time in history be taught to our children? Will teachers have the correct curriculum? Who will finally teach us that that the states and the country freed the slaves fakely? Will they teach our children that the United States made laws that made petty crimes reasons to put blacks behind bars? Will they teach that the prison systems is a new form of slavery? Will they teach that since the civil rights movement, the United States gave the police authority to do as they please and free will on targeting black communities and black people so they don't have the right to vote, even though they were given the right to vote, meaning they're behind bars, meaning they can't make it to the voting polls? Who will teach us how the prison systems are ran by a group of people who have the stakes in this country and use prison workers to manufacture goods for this country, kind of like picking cotton? I have a child and you have a child, Jesse.
Yeah.
At what point will the truth be taught in this country? At what point will our children learn the truth about this country? I would love for my child to live in a life of freedom, but her freedom will never come until the lives of every black person in this country and this world can wake up every morning and have the sense of belonging and feeling of no fear to be under their skin. I'm not a politician, I'm not a professional, I'm not a person you go to for facts, but I know where change will start, and that is in the heart, and the relationships that build from it, and the way I lead is through my actions. And that goes the same for everyone in this world. It's time to change. It's time to change. I can go off on another podcast on how this country has done the same for my brown people and Asian people and Indian people, Alaskan, and so forth and so on and so forth. Let me say this because it's important, because as a man of faith and the Lord is my shepherd, I do pray for the police. I pray for the power for them to wake up and understand what they're doing is wrong. I pray that the business that they run is recognized in their own hearts that it's the wrong way of thinking, the wrong way of doing, and it's wrong for them to pursue and discriminate through the badge, and it's wrong, and I pray for them in their hearts for change. At the same time, I pray for our president to have a heart to show compassion, but I know that's a far stretch. But I also know that God can do whatever he wants, and he can do many things, and he can create miracles. I pray that Trump will actually open the Bible that he took a picture with. I want to add that at some point, watching all these hurtful videos and images on social media, it begins to get to you. And some of us have taken a break. And I think that during our break, it's important to digest it all and also try to use these moments of clarity to find ways to make change and implement those changes, starting with your home and then your community. The news needs to start acting right, because all these phones with cameras are posting the real news all over social media. Let me ask this question. Civil rights 60 years ago, that was a moment. Rodney King 30 years ago, that was a moment. The present is now. We're in a moment. And 30 years from now, do we want to be in the same place Or do we want to make a difference so that black people are treated equally? What side of history are you going to be on? And I feel like it's our responsibility. That's all I have.
That was good, man. That was really, really touching.
Sorry, man.
And
That's been in my heart, man. An emotional few days for me, and
yeah,
I'm not black, but I think that
yeah,
as a human being, you should feel the hurt. If you have compassion, if you ever had a black friend and you kicked it with them, you hung out with them, if
hmm
they brought you around with their family because they're amazing people and they're warm-hearted and they love to share, and they took you to their barbecue and they share some Kool-Aid with you and some stories, you cannot let those things go. And I think
right,
it's important for us to stand up and be with them. And I think a lot of people have tried really, 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 really hard to say that they're with them, to 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 make them want to understand that we're with them. But I think what's important right now is to bring action, and the best thing for us to do is to be beside them, to check up on them, to call them and just be with them, not just yesterday, not in just in those good times, not just today, but tomorrow. And what I meant by 30 years is that's tomorrow, because there's a cycle going on and at some point all this got to change, man, cuz I don't want I want my child to live in a world where everybody is looked at equally. And if I want that for my own child that's not black, and even though my people are oppressed as well, I want the same for everybody. And that it can't be everybody until black people are included in everybody. And that's how I feel.